Hello, YouTube. It's your main man, BTM here. Welcome you guys back to the Black Tiger Miner YouTube channel. And today we're talking about what is a ETF and price predictions for the Ethereum ETF and kind of just an overview so you guys can understand the different types of ETFs and the different types of ETFs for Ethereum to make sure you guys get the right ticker symbol to buy them on your local stock exchange since they won't be on your crypto. So make sure you guys get the right Ethereum ETFs in the right location and kind of helping you guys understand what's going on in the market. So this is the first video. This is different types of ETFs by Concerning Reality. That's a real quick overview.
ETFs come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, and you can likely find one that covers exactly what you want to invest in. There are bond ETFs, which are made up of government and corporate bonds, industry ETFs, which track industries like technology, banking, or oil and gas, commodity ETFs, which track the prices of crude oil, gold, silver, and other valuable resources, currency ETFs, which track the changes in value of various currencies, like the euro or US dollar, and inverse ETFs, which gain in value when a group of stocks go down. These ETFs essentially short the underlying stock or bet against them and go up in value inversely to the stocks. When looking for ETFs on the open market, you should note that many of them are not actually ETFs, but rather exchange traded notes, or ETNs. While ETFs actually own the underlying stock or security, ETNs are just securities issued by banks guaranteed to track the underlying index without actually owning the underlying securities as part of the ETN. In all actuality, ETNs and ETFs function the same for investors, but when you buy an ETN, just be aware that you're buying a guarantee from a bank, not the actual securities that
I
it
didn't know
tracks.
that. So it is a ETN versus a ETF, and that might not even be correct, but I just wanted to let you guys know. So this is which new Ether ETF starts today. The spot Ether ETFs begin trading today can be found on NASDAQ, ARCA, and QB. I'm not even sure about the last three. Um, Here's the breakdown for each NFT you can find on these three exchanges. Investo Galaxy ETFQ ETH, 21 shares CETH, Fidelity Fund FETH, Franklin ETF ETZT, and VanEx Ethereum ETHV. Nasdaq iShares Trust ETF ETHA. Let's see, ETHA. That's right. Created by BlackRock. Also manages the largest spot Bitcoin under IBIT ticker. Nasdaq ARCA. Bitwise ETF ETHW. Grayscale, which is the one I got, is ETHE. Grayscale's mini trust is ETH, which I almost bought. So I'm glad I actually looked this up before. How does the ETF work? The spot Ether ETFs are intended to offer expose the price of Ether held by funds. Ether is the underlying cryptocurrency on the Ethereum network, the second largest crypto network when measured by market cap. Buyers of the ETFs are purchasing shares of funds that hold Ether on behalf of their shareholders. Different spot Ether ETFs use different sources of data when it comes to the pricing. Ether, Grayscale Trust for one uses CoinDex Ether Price Index. Something else I didn't know. Interesting. What are the fees associated with each individual spot Ether ETF previously revealed S1 or S3, depending on specific ETFs filing associated with the offering. These fees are 0.25% or lower for all but one. Grayscale's trust, which is being converted to ETF, has a 2.5 fee. The Grayscale Mini Trust has a lower 0.15%. These fees are charged on an annual basis, and the provider management of the funds are in line in which was previously seen as the spot Bitcoin ETFs. Interesting. ETFs can simplify investors' trading process. In the case of crypto, instead of taking full custody of Ether and taking care of one's private keys, the spot Ether ETF allows investors to purchase underlying crypto of the Ether network via traditional brokerage accounts. Not all brokers may offer spot ETFs to the customers today. So it's a lot of interesting information, especially the ones about the different options with the ETFs and the fees associated with them. Because I didn't even know there was a fees. The SEC is allowing registration statements to become effective Monday, which marks the final sign off for these funds to begin trading. Perfume predicted 750 million to a billion of net inflows per month for the first 5 to 6 months. So basically 750 to $1 billion a month. What looked unlikely less than 3 months ago has become reality today. The first ever spot Ethereum ETF exchange traded funds will begin trading in the US Thursday morning, which is opening bell at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we definitely passed that. Today is definitely Tuesday, and I actually picked up some this morning. So there are 8 issuers will debut their Ether to the institutional investor and retail investors. Here's a rundown of the issuers, the ETF's exchange tickers will trade on, as well as post waiver fees. So make sure you're only looking at these actual NFTs. I'm sure there's more out there, but these are the main ones. Grayscale Mini Trust, ticker symbol ETH, 15% post waiver fee. Grayscale Ethereum Trust, ETHE, 2.5%. And that's the one I got. I wish I'd have known it's 2.5%. I might need to go back and swap that. Franklin Ethereum ETF, CBOE, EZET, 19 or 0.19%. That X was also a good one, but it is on the CBOE, ticker symbol ETHV at 0.20%. Bitwise Ethereum ETF, New York Stock Exchange, ETHW 0.20%. 21 shares core Ethereum CBEO. What is CBEO? I don't know. CETH 0.21%. Fidelity Ethereum Fund CBOE FETH 0.25. So I guess the 0.25 or 0.20 is about normal. iShares Ethereum Trust Nasdaq ETHA 0.25%, and Invesco Galaxy Ethereum ETF COBE QETH 0.25%. The 6 funds will use Coinbase as a custodian. VanEck is using Gemini as a custodian, while Fidelity is self custodying its Ether. That's actually pretty interesting. I might have to pick up some Fidelity just to make sure I got some Ether to back me up. Spot Ethereum ETFs and spot Bitcoin ETFs. Most believe Ethereum will generate less inflows than Bitcoin ETFs, and at least early on, their value will still significant. Presume 750 million to a billion of net inflows per month. The block previously reported, which matches up to Citigroup's projection of 4.7 billion to 5.4 billion in the next 6 months of trading. This quick video. This is from this morning, and he's talking about the approvals.
Begin trading today. The SEC approved ETF applications from 21 shares: Bitwise, BlackRock, Fidelity iShares, Benek, and Franklin Templeton, along with Invesco Galaxy. And joining us right now to talk about all of this and what it means for the crypto industry and what is now we'll describe as a milestone, another milestone. Anthony Pompliano is here, founder and CEO of Professional Capital Management. Pop, it's nice to see you.
Good to see you.
You think this is a game changer or not really? You seem less excited this morning than when you were here on Bitcoin Day.
Yeah, well, let's go look at the Bitcoin ETF. I think, historic thing, probably the best ETF launch in history. One of the interesting stats is that the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF has had more net flows than QQQ year to date. Right, so just massive flows there, over $500 million just yesterday alone. And so I think what a lot of people say is, well, that was the first one. Is the second one going to be as big? And I don't think that's true, right? If you just go and, before I came on, I looked at all the major news sites. People aren't talking about it as much. And so the media attention, the hype, all that stuff isn't really there. And so it brings you to the question of why are people not talking about it as much? And I think part of the challenge for Ethereum is that the story isn't as clear. It's very clear with Bitcoin, right? It's digital gold. When we start talking about Ethereum, you're talking about a technology platform. There's a lot more competition, et cetera. But if you go and you talk to the people at Bitwise, they're launching ETH today. Yep. What they would tell you is, well, actually, there's diversification. People on Wall Street love that. And so maybe actually the benefit that Ethereum will have is just people say, well, I don't want to have just one. I want to have a couple of them. It's Bitcoin, it's Ethereum. Let me do like a 70-30 split, and that'll be good enough for it. And so I think that we really got to see what these flows are going to look like, because the story isn't as clear. You're not going to get access to the staking. So the cash flow that people really like about Ethereum isn't available to these kind of ETF holders. And I think that the flows itself are not going to be nearly as big as Bitcoin. And so the question is, how much impact on price is this really going to have?
Walk us through just what the flows look like on Bitcoin, to the extent that that's going to be a model at all. Even if you said this 70-30 idea that you're going to diversify in that way, you'd say, well, then should you just say that, this is going to be 30% of whatever that was?
Yeah. Well, I think that the flows on the Bitcoin side, some of these funds have 10, 15, $19 billion in them, right? I mean, these are real money that's moving into these things. What I do think is interesting about the Ethereum ETF approval, and probably the thing I've taken away the most, is less about Ethereum and more about the rest of the market. What this signals to me is that all of the altcoins are going to come to Wall Street. It may take a while. There may need to be some regulatory clarity. They may get treated a certain way, but these things are going to come to Wall Street. And so what went from a 0 to 1, is it going to be Bitcoin, is it not, is now going to be a crypto industry. And the reason why that becomes interesting is because people who have this portfolio model or portfolio approach are going to start to apply that to all of crypto.
For those that don't follow all of this, does Ethereum ultimately, to you, have the same sort of restrictions in terms of how many Ethereum there ultimately will be on a relative basis to the way Bitcoin is set up?
Yeah.
Because that to me is a fundamental issue.
Yeah, it does not. One of the issues that I think the critics have with Ethereum is that the monetary policy mimics much closer to kind of the US dollar, right? There are these periodic decisions as to whether the monetary policy is going to be more constrictive or not, how many are going to be available, et cetera. So again, the story isn't as clear. It's not as certain. What I do think is also interesting is that Ethereum long has said, hey, we're the smart contract platform, and they were the dominant one there. But now there's a lot of competition, right? It's not the fastest. It's not the cheapest. There's these other blockchains that have come forward. And so I actually am of the belief that there will be inflows to the Ethereum ETFs. The Ether price will go up, but it's just not going to be to the magnitude that people kind of are hoping for because of these other pressures.
What is the Pomp family going to do as it relates to all of this?
I'm highly biased. I sold all of the Ethereum that I owned last year. I bought Solana. It's outperformed. And so
you're now a Solana maximalist.
No. It's the second biggest position. And really the thought process is the Bitcoin position that we own, we're going to continue to hold. But there is an entire other universe there. And so the thought process being you want to be in the asset that is cheaper, faster, and likely going to receive more flows. And if you go and you look at DEX volume, right, decentralized exchanges on Solana is actually eating into the market share of on Ethereum. And so we just think there's a lot more momentum. It's a smaller market cap asset and likely to outperform.
So what do you think? Do you think Ethereum is better than Solana? And like you mentioned, I did sell my Ethereum to grab Solana myself. So let me know what you guys think about that as well, because Ethereum with their fees, and when I try to buy Ethereum, I always get feed to death, right? I was actually making some Ethereum purchases before making this video and realized I had to add more Ethereum from my custodial wallet just to make a purchase on um Uniswap. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. And let's click to this last video and call it a day.
Coinbase. Brian Armstrong recently tweeted just 5 hours ago before me making this video, another huge step forward in regulatory clarity. Coinbase is all about this. By the way, Coinbase stock, another great investment, I think, outside of Ethereum and Bitcoin. Ethereum is not a security. We've been saying it for years, and they are saying that Coinbase is proud to be the trusted partner and custodian powering 8 new ETFs that will be launching for Ethereum. So in a moment, I'm going to go into the chart to give my analysis and price prediction. The other last thing I'll show you is that Cointelegraph tweeted that the stock exchange has clearly and cleared, should I say, the listing of Bitwise, Grayscale, Ethereum's Trust Spot, Ethereum ETF. So it's all happening. It's happening today, somewhere between 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to probably midday Eastern Standard Time. Let's talk about the support level that we have for Ethereum, clearly defined on the chart, is that $3,400 level. I think $3,400 level is a good line in the sand for support, because if we lose that level, the next level of support takes us down to $3,267. A lot of people have been wondering if the ETF will have a negative effect and we might see some sell-off in the early beginnings. It's possible, but considering where the market is right now, myself and most analysts are expecting something neutral to bullish, and we're waiting for the technicals to indicate where to trade. The resistance currently right now is at the golden pocket. So resistance sits between 35.38, so $3,358, and $3,587. Basically, in order to go long on the short-term time frame, what we will want to see, and I'm going to show you in a minute my medium longer term price prediction for the Ethereum ETF, which is incredibly bullish, but I want to see Ethereum in the short term get above $3,587 right now, so we can put on some more meaningful long trades. I do have some trades over $4,100. If you go into the monthly chart, you can see that we're nearly back up at all-time high prices. We're kind of scooping up the next accumulation zone with a very bullish monthly candle, by the way, as you can see here. So what I believe will happen over the next few weeks is we will come up to the resistance of, once again, of $4,100 and hopefully break that to get to the all-time high prices with the inflows from the ETFs. Guys, like the video, share it as well. That really helps. Have the bell turned on so you don't miss a
What you guys think about this and think about the video. Do we need to continue on the Ethereum ETF information? And I just want to help you guys. I know a lot of you guys are new to crypto and you guys aren't sure what to invest in, what not to invest in. This is not financial advice. This is just for entertainment purposes and educational purposes, trying to help you guys navigate the prices. So currently, Ethereum is down 1.2% on the day. Solana's down 3.5% to 175.75 cents. Ethereum is 3,410.6 cents. And let's see here for the market cap, Ethereum is 403.4 billion. Down 1.02 in the last hour, 1.24 in the last 24 hours, 1.91 in the last 7 days, and 1.56 in the last 30 days. And we'll look at Solana real quick, down 0.34%, actually down 1.97. Pretty good time to buy Ethereum. It's not financial advice. This is just for entertainment purposes. Market cap is 80.3 billion. 24-hour trading volume is down 3.61. 7 days is up 7.6. 30 days is up 32.1. So let me know what you think. Is Ethereum a better buy than Solana? But this is the ETF information and the price prediction. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and come on back for more crypto information. And again, we'll be having the Turbo Toe turn up tonight at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you know, you know. So don't forget to join us for the Turbo Toe turn up. This is Black Tiger Miner signing out. And remember, let's get back to the money, guys.